So you're thinking about packing your bags and moving to Charleston, South Carolina? You've seen the pastel houses on Rainbow Road, dreamed about eating fresh shrimp and grits every weekend, and pictured yourself strolling under mossy oak trees? Hold on just a second. Before you hire the movers, let's talk about the things locals wish they knew before making the leap. We're talking bridge bottlenecks on your morning commute, flood tides, protected grand trees, Sunday liquor laws, no seams, and yes, the dinosaur living in the pond behind your neighborhood. Stick around to the very end because there is one specific local weather quirk that catches almost every out of stager completely off guard. Welcome back. I'm Irina Bordyn, your go to local Charleston real estate expert. On this channel, we cover everything you need to know about living, working, and thriving right here in the Low Country. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, my team and I help families relocate here every single week. All my contact info is right down in the description below. Reach out anytime. Now, let's dive into the truth about Charleston. First up, Southern hospitality. It is 100% real down here, but it might feel like a culture shift if you're coming from the Northeast or West Coast. People will make full eye contact, wave from their front porches, and strike up a full 10-minute conversation with you in line at the Harris Teeter. Nobody's ever in a rush, and courtesy is expected. Now, a word of caution for newcomers. If someone smiles warmly, nods, and tell you, "Oh, bless your heart," don't necessarily take that as a compliment. In the South, it's the ultimate polite way of saying, "Oh, you poor thing," or "That was a really bad idea." It's passive aggression wrapped in velvet, and you will definitely hear it at least once during your first month here. Point number two, why do we call Charleston the Holy City? Well, historically, Charleston was known for its religious tolerance, resulting in steeples lining the skyline. And the tradition remains strong today. We are right in the heart of the Bible Belt. Churches are everywhere, from historic Episcopalian to and Baptist churches downtown to massive non-denominational communities in Mount Pleasant and Somerville. Beyond faith, churches here serve as major social hubs, community centers, and places to build immediate connections when you relocate. A quick tip for living in the Holy City. Sunday morning timing matters. So if you like doing Sunday morning brunch or heading out to the grocery store, plan to go before 10:30 or after 1 p.m. Once services let out, the local restaurants and roads fill up fast. Speaking of the Bible Belt, let's talk about alcohol laws because this throws off almost every newcomer stocking up for their first weekend tailgate or beach trip. In South Carolina, liquor stores are closed every single Sunday. Plus, on weekdays and Saturdays, liquor stores are required by law to close early, usually at 7 p.m. sharp. So, if you're throwing a Sunday party or dinner, you must buy your liquor by Saturday evening. So now, what about beer and wine? Well, you can buy beer and wine at the grocery stores and gas stations on Sundays, but in many municipalities, sales don't open up until 10 a.m. or noon. And if you want a mimosa or a Bloody Mary with your Sunday morning brunch, well, thanks to the South Carolina's brunch law, restaurants with proper permits can serve liquor drinks starting at 10 a.m. on Sundays. But don't expect to walk into a liquor store and buy a bottle to take home. Now, if you're coming from a massive sports city with NFL, NBA, or MLB mega teams, you might wonder, what do we do for sports down here? Well, while we root hard for college sports like the Gamecocks or Tigers football, our local professional sports scene is pure fun. We have the Charleston Battery for soccer, the South Carolina Stingrays for hockey, and our beloved minor league baseball team, the Charleston River Dogs, who play right on the Ashley River at the Joe. Here's the fun fact every newcomer loves. Legendary actor Bill Murray is a co-owner of the Charleston River Dogs. In fact, his official executive title in the front office is literally Director of Fun. Bill lives in Charleston and frequently shows up at games, hangs out at the stands, signs autographs, and hands out high fives. Going to a River Dogs game isn't just about baseball. It's cheap cold beer, crazy themed nights, beautiful sunset water views, and a very good chance of spotting Bill Murray. Next up, the water. Charleston is surrounded by water, the harbor, rivers, and coastal beaches. It's breathtaking. But here's what nobody tells you until you live here: sunny day flooding. You don't even need rain. On a full moon during a high tide, parts of downtown Charleston, like near the market or Roper Hospital, can flood right onto the pavement. Locals keep a tide app on their phones right next to the weather app. If you buy a car here, learn where to park during king tides and get comfortable using alternate routes through Mount Pleasant, James Island, or Somerville. Let's get real about traffic. If you're moving here from Atlanta, Los Angeles, or New York, Charleston traffic might look like easy on paper. But our geography makes commuting uniquely tricky. Charleston is a peninsula surrounded by islands, rivers, and marshes, which means almost every major commute requires crossing a bridge. Whether it's the Ravenel Bridge connecting Mount Pleasant, the Don Holt on I-526, or James Island Connector. If there's a fender bender on one of those main bridges during peak rush hour, traffic backs up everywhere. Pro tip for relocating: work to home location matters more than total mileage. Driving 15 miles down I 26 from Somerville into downtown at 8 a.m. feels completely different than driving 10 miles across Mount Pleasant. When we help clients choose a neighborhood, we always test their exact commute time during rush hour, not just on a Sunday afternoon. If you're dreaming of buying an iconic downtown historic property, you need to meet your new neighbor, the BAR, the Board of Architectural Review. Charleston takes historic preservation very seriously. Want to paint your front door a fun, bright neon color? BAR approval. Want to switch out historic single pane glass for double pane? BAR approval. You are buying a piece of history, which keeps property values strong and the city gorgeous. But you have to play by the rules. Speaking of strict rules, let's talk about our trees. You know, those stunning, sweeping live oaks covered in Spanish moss that make Charleston look like a movie set? They aren't just beautiful, they are legally protected royalty. In Charleston County, Mount Pleasant, and surrounding municipalities, we have grant tree protection ordinances. Any hardwood tree, especially a live oak with a trunk diameter of 24 inches or greater, is designated as a grant tree. Why are they so fiercely protected? Well, because these trees take over a century to grow, stabilize our coastal soil, mitigate storm runoff, and define our low country charm. So, what does this mean for you as a homeowner? Well, you cannot simply hire a guy with a chainsaw to cut down a grand tree on your property just because you want to put in a pool or expand your patio. Removing or severely trimming a protected tree without an official city permit can land you with thousands of dollars in fines per tree, or force you to pay for expensive replacement plantings. Even developers have to build whole road layouts around these majestic giants. Let's talk environment. Between late March and April, Charleston experienced what we call the pollinating. You wake up one morning and every car, porch, and leaf is coated in a thick layer of bright neon yellow pine pollen. Don't bother washing your car. Just wait until May. In summer, July and August in Charleston aren't just hot. They are tropical. The humidity is thick enough to chew, but that's why every porch has a ceiling fan and everyone's heading down to Folly Beach or Isle Pops. So now let's talk about something every local knows, but relocation guys rarely put in bold letters: the bugs. First, we have the infamous palmetto bug. Out of staters call them giant flying cockroaches, but down here we gave them a fancy native name. They live outdoors in the palm trees and mulch, but when it gets super hot or rains heavily, one will inevitably find its way into your home. Don't panic. It doesn't mean your house is dirty. It just means you live in coastal South Carolina. Second, and honestly worse, are the no-see-ums. These are tiny biting midges that live near the marsh and water. You literally cannot see them. But at sunrise and sunset, especially when there is no wind, they will bite you relentlessly. Standard screen porches won't even keep them out unless you get specialized no-see-ums mesh screens. Stock up on your bug spray and buy a good porch fan to keep the air moving and learn to love your local pest control guy. Speaking of wildlife, let's talk about the local dinosaurs, alligators. If you are buying a home in a master planned community anywhere in Mount Pleasant, West Ashley, Johns Island, or Somerville, chances are high you will have a retention pond nearby. Rule number one of living in the low country: assume every body of fresh or brackish water has a gator in it. They aren't aggressive monster movie creatures hunting you down, but they are wild animals. Golden rule: never feed them. It's illegal and gets them acclimated to humans. Keep your dogs on a leash away from the water's edge. Don't let young kids play at the bank of a lagoon. And during spring mating season, don't be surprised if a 5-foot gator decides to walk across your driveway or take a sun bath on a golf course. It's just part of living in harmony with a low country landscape. Now, for a huge positive, the food. Charleston is consistently ranked one of the top food cities in the country. From fresh low country oyster roasts to she crab soup to high end culinary hotspots, you will never have to eat a bad meal. The downside? Reservations. If you want to eat at the hotspots on a Friday night downtown, you better be booking weeks in advance. Or get comfortable eating at the bar early. All right. As promised, here is the secret local truth that catches everyone off guard. Up north, people panic when a blizzard is forecast. In Charleston, if the weather forecast calls for a tropical disturbance, heavy thunderstorms, or heaven forbid, a rare forecast of freezing rain, the entire city stops. The grocery stores empty out of bread, milk, and bottled water within 3 hours. Bridges will close if wind speed hit 39 miles per hour, and school will announce closures before a single raindrop falls. It's just how we roll. We take safety and staying home with a snack very seriously. Charleston has its quirks, but honestly, there is no place on earth quite like it. The culture, the history, the beaches, the community make every bit of pollen, tide delay, no seams, bites, bridge bottleneck, and neighborly gator totally worth it. If you're thinking about moving to Charleston, reach out, call, text, or send me an email. My team and I would love to help you find your perfect home here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and watch this next video right here for more tips on relocating to the low country. Have a wonderful day.